What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the German Bear Podcast. And today we got once again a big free agency Chicago Bears film room episode surrounding one of the newest edge rushers of the Chicago Bears in Rasheem Green. The Chicago Bears signed the former Texan and Seattle Seahawk Rasheem Green to a one-year deal, and I can't tell you enough, guys, how excited I am about this guy because I actually talked about him pre-free agency that he would be one of my biggest sleeper free agents that the Chicago Bears could pursue, and they finally actually signed him to a one-year deal, so super excited about the player himself. Now, overall, to get the contract details right out of the way, he signed a one-year deal worth $2.5 million, including a $350,000 signing bonus, and $850 of that money is guaranteed. I think that's a great value pickup for the Chicago Bears for a player that still has some upside and will be a very good, probably productive rotational rusher right away for the Chicago Bears. Now, for his stats in 2022, real quick, he played for the Houston Texans after he played 4 years with the Seattle Seahawks after being picked by them in the third round in the 2018 NFL Draft. He's a 6'4", 279-pound edge rusher / defensive lineman. He can play multiple spots and is still only 25 years old, but will turn 26 on May 15th though, so should be 26 within the next couple of weeks. But very intriguing player in 2022 for his stats. Played in 16 games for the Texans, appeared in 5 as a starter, and had 2 pass deflections, 3.5 sacks, 42 tackles, and also 5 TFLs plus 8 quarterback hits. And his most productive season was actually in 2021 with the Seattle Seahawks, where he had a starting role in 17 games, started 16 of those, had 4 pass deflections, 6.5 sacks, 48 tackles, 6 TFLs, and 15 quarterback hits in 2021. So overall, for his entire career, he has been a pretty damn solid rotational rusher with some starting stints here and there, and I think that will be his role with the Chicago Bears as well. But with that being said, super excited to dig into the tape with Rasheem Green, tons of interesting stuff, and with that being said, we want to start off with the first category that I want to talk about today, which is him as a pass rusher. And for me, overall, when I looked at Rasheem Green's tape, I looked at both 2021 and 2022, where he was, as I said, on 2 different teams. And what sticks out immediately on his tape is, first of all, his explosiveness on the line, which I think personally is pretty great. Also, a player with tons of strength, especially in his upper body, lower body, and especially his hands as well. The guy is absolutely powerful. Also, what I love about him is his pass rush repertoire. He uses several things, like just a swim move, rip move, speed rush, bull rush, whatever it is, but he has a pretty good repertoire developed already. Also love his motor, never gives up on the play, always 100%, and also is a pretty versatile player, as we'll see. He lined up at 3 technique, 4 technique, 5 technique, wide 9 as well, so you can use him in several different spots of the defensive line, which I love as a benefit too. As for his cons, there's some cons. I think consistency is definitely a thing. That's why he's not a constant starter throughout his career, and also I think his snap timing could be better. He's explosive off the line, but like I said, he could time the snap a bit better at times, and it would make him even more effective. So going into the plays, one beautiful example against the Denver Broncos, where he showed his explosiveness off the line. He just perfectly used the leverage against the offensive lineman in that case, and just beat him with a beautiful swipe move to fight off the hands right away, and then just ripped past him as well to continue his path to the quarterback for a beautiful sack on Russell Wilson, in which what I also love about his play, that he just simply finished the play, got the sack, and just showed right there that he has a pretty good pass rush repertoire that he can use on certain downs. Another beautiful example against the Indianapolis Colts, this one in 2021 with the Seattle Seahawks, where he once again had, this time, even great timing off the snap, which, like I said, he doesn't always have, but also had that good explosiveness that I've talked about already, working the hands quick once again, and just also having having good eyes, timing the strike of the offensive tackle perfectly, just as rip and swipe past him, and then the closing speed is pretty great too to finish the sack on Carson Wentz there. So that was a pretty impressive play there too against the Colts. Another beautiful example would be against the Green Bay Packers, where he was once again attacking with leverage, playing with leverage, which is so important for edge rushers or defensive linemen in general. Winning the hands battle, once again just being stronger with the hands, having better placement, and then also getting past the offensive tackle with a beautiful pull rip move. So there we have it again. Pass rush repertoire is pretty developed with him. Just a beautiful rush in general, and then lined up at that specific play in 4 eyes. So there we have it with the versatility, lining up as a wide 9 to plays previous, and now lining up as a 4-eye on that play. Moving on to another play that he had, which was actually against the Chicago Bears, which is pretty funny, in 2021, which was that snow game that the Bears won with that Demir Bird catch in the last seconds. This time lineup, I think more in a 3-tech role here. So once again, displaying that versatility, showing his explosive get off once again, and then just having a very strong core and very great hands to fight off the offensive guard's hands there, and then just closing in within a hurry to get the sack on Nick Foles, just dominating this rep against James Daniels, who luckily is no longer a Chicago Bear in my opinion, but very strong rep there too by Rasheem Green. And then finishing off this category, we got one more play against the LA Rams. On this one, not necessarily a great pass rush rep, but what I love about this play right there, just showing relentlessness and just willing to get to the quarterback, which I loved specifically. Just having raw power, working the bull rush against the offensive guard, constant leg drive on this play as well, and then just powers past the guard to take down Matt Stafford, which was a pretty impressive play, not maybe from a pass rush standpoint, but like I said, just showing his relentlessness and power and will to get to the quarterback. And with that being said, we want to move on to the second category that we want to look at today, which is him as a run stuffer. And I think Rasheem Green really surprised me, not necessarily, but I was not expecting that good of a run stuffing tape, but I think it was really good against a run, which is very promising because we had so many struggles last year on the Bears defense defending the run, so that's a huge benefit of getting him as well. What I saw on tape, I think his strength against the run is phenomenal. Also, the eyes in the run game don't get lost too often. There was some examples where he was too focused on the quarterback or the running back at times, but mostly had pretty good eyes in the run game as well. Love his patience there, relentlessness, and also the hand placement is phenomenal in the run game as well. And then just in addition, being able to anchor in the run game too, which is super important, taking on the offensive lineman and directing the run and working towards the running back too. That's what he did as well. So love that on tape. When we look at the tape actually against the Broncos, one beautiful play against the tight end, which is always like, yeah, tight end, but still, you got to do it. And right there, just doesn't get moved by the tight end, has control over that block all time, and then just as soon as the running back arrives to him, he just uses a beautiful swim move to get past the tight end and makes a great tackle right there on the running back. Another one against the Jacksonville Jaguars where they made a pitch play or tried a pitch play, and right there, eyes don't fool him, recognizes it within a second, sees it fast, and then just shows perfect pursuit and relentlessness on this play, chasing down the fast ball carrier for the Jaguars for a tremendous play right there against the run. Another example, once again, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, where he was taking on a block of the offensive tackle, and right there just anchors and works to the running back, which with just very strong core right there, just being able to control the block all the way to the running back, and then just getting off the block in the right time as well to make a big tackle. So love that play too by Rasheem Green, just once again showing his ability to anchor and his pure strength that he just simply has and power. Then one really impressive play that we want to look at lastly in this category, which was against the New York Giants, where it was a huge play by him. They had a very heavy formation with extra linemen subbed in that situation, and he was playing against one of the additional offensive linemen on that play, and he had a huge, powerful first punch that caught that offensive lineman off guard to just get him out of the rhythm first of all, and then just had control with the hands, threw the lineman basically away, and had a huge tackle against Saquon Saquon Barkley, which is obviously so tough, especially against the Giants, who had such a great running offense last year against that very stacked, heavy offensive line front. Made a huge play to get, I don't think it was a tackle for loss, maybe it was, but just minimizing the gain right there by the New York Giants. And with that being said, overall, for the signing of Rasheem Green, I think for a 1-year, $2.5 million deal with only $850,000 of those dollars guaranteed, I think that's a huge steal for the Chicago Bears once again. And just Ryan Poles playing the cards right once again in free agency. You add another very talented young pass rusher to the rotation with Travis Gibson, Dominique Robinson, who's so talented, also DeMarcus Walker, and now you got Rasheem Green and potentially a young player added in the earlier rounds in this year's draft as well. So we're looking at a very bright future, especially already in 2023 maybe with the Chicago Bears pass rush. But nonetheless, I expect this one, Rasheem Green, to be a bigger upgrade that can help us immediately in 2023. And who knows, if he plays well, maybe even longer. But with that being said, that's the end of the episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think of Rasheem Green and the signing by the Chicago Bears. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram and Twitter if you want to as well. And as always, guys, bear down.